One of the most important games of this player's career. There he is, the Red Terran player spawning at the top of Terminus Re. He is Imyohan the Emperor, otherwise known as Slayer's BoxeR, fighting for his life in GSL already in the first round, coming up against a pretty powerful Protoss. He left him alone for too long last game, but here he is. Here is our blue guy.
MVP Avenge.
I'm sorry, MVP Avenge. You deserve a better intro than that. If MVP Avenge wins, I'm going to think of the most awesome intro for him next time. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be great. So there's Avenge. Now, this is actually a map that I kind of feel is going to favor BoxeR a little bit because of the spawn points. Now, BoxeR is in a position where if you look at how the map goes, he can drop the expansions of Avenge. So
relatively safely,
Yeah, it could be something that could be very helpful at the same time. It's also a huge map, so Avenge is going to be able to possibly build up his army a little bit easier, too, than even on Metalopolis.
Now, BoxeR has got his barracks going. I'm curious to see if he gets gas soon, but it looks like he might vary a little bit from his previous build. He's not going to be able to get a reactor right after without the gas going right up. There's the gas, so we'll see if that happens, actually.
Yeah, I would imagine we're going to see a pretty quick expand from BoxeR.
Yeah, but Avenge, he just was left alone for too long. You're right.
Yeah.
BoxeR took so long to get anything that could move out with any form of mobile detection other than his comsats that he just chrono boosted out a ton of probes, took a third, and eventually out-macroed him, and let's not forget some beautiful force fields on that ramp at the last battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just the anger the anger, I'm sure there's some anger going up, the angle, rather, that BoxeR came in from, coming up that ramp with all those bioforces packed in there. That's just never, ever an angle you want to attack from in a TVP situation like that, especially in the mid to late game like we were in there. So not the best decision by BoxeR to move at that point either.
Yeah, I was a little surprised he didn't have any Vikings.
No
he must have known there were Colossi. I'm a little surprised he didn't wait a little longer to go for that attack. And is he going to get the probe in? It looks like it's barely going to go down.
Nice.
Is not going to scout that BoxeR is once again doing the exact same build.
Yeah. Now, Avenge, really on this map too, there's always a temptation to just simply straight up 4-gauge because it's a big map, yes, but remember again, the pylon cuts down the distances to basically nothing. So if your opponent is doing what BoxeR's doing, you can definitely exploit that. Like, look at that. He's getting a reactor. That's 50 seconds where he will only have one Marine defending. And that is a very risky thing to do against a Protoss player that has the potential to 4-gate as well. Now, obviously, with 2 gas, I don't think we're going to see a 4-gate from Avenge, but still, it's a little bit of a risky move, I feel, early in the game, but I think it's going to be okay for BoxeR this time around.
Yeah, Avenge is once again getting quick warp gates. He's chrono boosting out the warp gate, actually. And whoop, whoop, whoop. Only 2 more gateways going down.
All right.
There they are.
No hidden tech yet for Avenge, so not doing anything like that. Now, one thing back at the base of BoxeR is that he had also gotten 2 gases. Now, we do see Avenge doing some scouting with a probe. And a stalker. We'll get back to those 2 gases in a moment. Now, the probe, he's actually a little bit suspicious there. And he may just be trying to clear out that SCV as well. Now, BoxeR, as we can see there, if we move up a little bit, has 2 gases right now. So, could we see Banshees? It's possible.
Interesting.
We could also see something like very fast siege tanks, because the siege tanks have been a little bit more useful lately in TVP.
Yeah, it's something that that we only see used occasionally, even though it actually used well can do quite good.
Now, BoxeR, though, definitely a player that sticks with his style. That's the one thing I think he's kind of known for, is that there may be different trends in the races here and there, but BoxeR, through the years, has really always stuck to bio and drops. That's kind of his thing. So, not really one to make a whole lot of tanks. He is getting a starport right now, getting stim as well, so it could be that we're going to see more drops. Depends on if he does decide to switch that starport with the factory. The factory is getting the tech lab.
Actually, it's a reactor.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was a...
Whoops.
It looks just like a tech lab.
Well, it kind of does when it's building.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, I'm serious. But yeah, so he's actually not going to go for the Banshees this time.
What is this? A bit of a forward pylon coming up for Avenge, and there's the Robo base. So Avenge going to put on some pressure early on. BoxeR probably looks like he's ready to handle that.
Yeah, he's got 2 more bunkers coming up, although they might not complete if he decides to move in. He's going up the ramp. Guardian Shield there. I don't think this is a kill move, but he's going to put on a lot of pressure here. Marines coming in are trapped in there. They're still able to fire at those Stalkers, though. This might be really bad for BoxeR. The other bunkers need to complete. He does get some Marines in the other bunkers and is able to fall back those 2. The bunker which completes moments later, so he does hold it off. But a significant amount of damage done there.
That was so close. If he hadn't had those other bunkers constructing, that may have been the end of the game right there. BoxeR barely scraping out a defense with that.
And he's done that actually each game. He's kind of gotten those extra bunkers up, anticipating pressure from Avenge each time, and then has been okay in that sense.
Now BoxeR looks like he's going to be reactoring out some units from that starport. Wouldn't be surprised at all if those were medevacs and not Vikings. Now, what has BoxeR seen of his opponent's base? That's what I was just about to wonder. And the answer is nothing. If we take a look at BoxeR's vision as he loads up that drop, and then look at Avenge's base,
he actually hasn't even seen any of Avenge's buildings at this point.
So BoxeR completely in the dark. Oh, canceling all the barracks, or salvaging them rather. BoxeR feeling like he's pretty confident about moving out, but Avenge is going to be completely ready for this drop, it looks like.
Yeah, so he's anticipating it.
BoxeR
and like you said,
right now.
BoxeR was afraid that people would know his style, and so Avenge watching for drops, which is exactly what's happening.
Yep, Avenge certainly knows BoxeR's style, and he's been taking advantage of that. Adapting mid-game too. Stim from BoxeR, but he needs to pull back right away. That's going to use up some medevac energy. Those Marines running a almost NASCAR-like wrap there.
He's still got plenty of force fields there. Oh, draws the whole army down, and then moves right up into the main. The army of the Protoss is going to have to go all the way around, so these Marines will have a chance to do some damage. They're going to pick off a Stalker, possibly a Zealot. They're going to hopefully go for some probes, and those probes coming off are going to force the Marines to lift away.
So BoxeR losing I can't believe those 2 Marines survived, by the way. Those so BoxeR doing a little bit of damage. He took down a couple probes. He's BoxeR actually still behind in Harvesters, 42-38 right now, and behind in food as well by 10. So BoxeR, despite doing a little bit of damage, still in the dark about a lot of things, still behind.
Whoa. And Avenge has actually evacuated his main, so this drop coming back in is going to be able to do decent damage unless he pulls his probes quickly. And there's a Stim. He's going to get a few probes at least. Does pull his probes. Immortal comes over to deal damage, but that's actually not where that Immortal wants to be. The Immortal might get picked off, which is not going to. It does fall back. And he left a few probes for BoxeR to clean up before getting out of dodge.
Yep, that Immortal coming very close to death. But Marines are actually very good against Immortals.
Yeah.
In case some of you at home didn't know that, Marines, of course, bypass the hardened shields that the Immortals have because the Marine shots do less than 10 damage.
Yeah, the hardened shield ignores anything more than 10 damage.
Yep.
So
well, it reduces it to 10.
Or reduces it to 10.
Yeah. Yep. So either way, Marines, definitely one of the better things to use against Immortals. So BoxeR, again, doing a little bit of damage, but not really enough to make a difference, falling farther behind in the supply, 102-86. I can't believe it, Moletrap. Slayer's BoxeR, we might see the Emperor eliminated from GSL.
He is producing more Vikings now, though.
Sniping the Overlord.
In anticipation of possible Colossi, which he does have the robotics bay. And it looks like, you know what, we might see Avenge go for, well, actually, he's got enough for an expansion if he wants it, but he's still on 2 bases, and it's relatively low. There's a drop coming in. On the side is actually going to get pushed back.
Yep, that drop not doing anything. It may try to land again. Looks like a Zealot warped in there. He's going to wave at the dropship as it walks by or flies by.
Yeah, no Stalkers in that army, interestingly.
You've got me calling them dropships again now.
I'm sorry.
I worked so hard to start calling them medevacs when StarCraft 2 came out.
My bad.
It's hard not to, though, isn't it?
Indeed. So, I actually usually call them medevacs as well. Slipping today. It's BoxeR.
Here we go. Slipping some units.
He's so old school. Yeah, slipping a couple units into the main to do some harassment.
Now BoxeR really looks like he's just kind of move commanding that medevac back and forth, keeping some units in the base instead of out on the field.
Looking for opportunities, keeping some of those units in the main, keeping the full army of Avenge from being with this front force, which is actually breaking down the rocks to get into BoxeR's third, and I don't think he knows this.
Yeah.
He has no vision of those rocks. Whoop, I think he spotted it.
Here come the Zealots into the middle line at the same time. Avenge is going to move into the third base of BoxeR very soon, it looks like. Maybe poking in at the natural, but those Zealots in the main base of BoxeR finally getting cleaned up, but doing a pretty decent amount of damage. BoxeR's still on his toes. Avenge looking like he wants to poke in at that third. BoxeR dropping maybe at the, yep, he's going to drop. I don't know if he can micro those Marines against the Zealots. Here comes the army of MVP Avenge. One force field going down there, trapping more of the units of Slayer's BoxeR, but with the bunkers and the bio, BoxeR may be able to push it back. Yep, indeed he is.
Wow, and BoxeR actually picking units up to make sure they don't get trapped there.
Yeah.
Viking, ironically, getting picked up in a medevac there. I like how BoxeR, he preemptively made Vikings in case of course, the possibility of Colossi, but he didn't actually produce any Colossus because he knew BoxeR was going for mass Marauders like last game, so the Immortals are actually a better bet in the short term. BoxeR landing those Vikings, no, they're not used, so a lot of back and forth here. BoxeR going for another drop, and dropping the Vikings out, is going to be able to take out a pylon, possibly some units, and there's the Colossus getting up and getting out. Oh, there was enough room after all for that Marine. Lucky Marine.
I love the Viking drops. BoxeR always innovating. Don't know if that was quite intentional, but you know, one thing that I've been kind of toying around with a little bit, we've talked a little bit about this at the GOM House actually, is going for a very fast 3 Viking, 1 medevac, then landing the Vikings attacking, and then picking them up so they get up really fast with the medevac and flying
we've been
away.
doing some theory crafting, trying to get the French player Karn, who's living there, to try it out on the high level, see if it'll work.
We'll get him to use it against some decent players.
We'll see though. He's actually been doing just mass Marines against Protoss, and it's actually working. BoxeR, now that he sees the Colossi, lifting his Vikings up, getting them back in their own control group to take the Colossus out. He's got enough to pick off that Colossus in like 1 or 2 shots.
Looks like MVP Avenge is going to be moving in again pretty soon.
There he goes.
Here we go, MVP Avenge moving in again with his army. Not a lot of Zealots though, so that's going to allow the army of BoxeR to come up and take out a lot of those Stalkers. Vikings firing on the Colossi, and I think BoxeR may have enough DPS in this. A lot of the units getting trapped behind by the force fields though. And here we go, BoxeR.
There's just too much stuff there, I think, for BoxeR. He's got so much behind those force fields that it is slowly forcing those units back. The front row of those Protoss units all very badly damaged, so a good move by Avenge, pulling back out of that situation. I'm really surprised, actually, BoxeR didn't land his Vikings behind and try and sandwich that. Yeah,
it's definitely tempting. He could have done a lot of damage. I think he's just
risky,
afraid of the Colossi. Yeah, that's right. Very risky. And BoxeR, of course, cannot take any risks. Neither of these players can take any risks because whoever wins this goes on. Whoever loses is out of the GSL. BoxeR certainly does not want it to be him. I'm sure Avenge doesn't want it either.
Avenge is finally taking his third, but BoxeR has actually taken the lead in supply at this point with that last battle. They're about even in harvesters, but actually even with the mules, somehow Avenge is ahead in income at the moment.
I think BoxeR's bases are getting very low.
BoxeR's mined out because of the mules, BoxeR actually dropping in the main, a little drop in the main of Avenge.
Yep, that's not doing a lot of damage.
Trying to draw back. Oh! Medevac full of units picked out of the air. Very, very bad.
Now that's actually hugely important because BoxeR, against the late game Protoss army, you really need every single unit you can. Now BoxeR's big advantage right now is that he's in a position where he can kind of defend the middle and start taking the left side of the map, whereas Avenge is a little bit more pinned on his side and can't expand quite as easily with the mobility that BoxeR has right now.
Yeah, he is expanding to that bottom location to try it out. And,
of course, because I said that.
Of course, happens all the time. Yeah. It is a pretty far distance, so that BoxeR would have to really commit to taking it out, but all it would take would be 1 medevac with a few units in it to take that out pretty easily. So very dangerous, kind of hoping to hide it a little bit. And actually BoxeR's Marine at the bottom of the map is going to find
down at the bottom of the
nexus. There he goes.
There it is. He scouts the base.
Doesn't want to do anything about it though.
So here's the thing. Now this is a difficult choice for Avenge. He could move down some forces to defend against the drop that BoxeR's probably going to send down there. But if he does, BoxeR might attack his front. So that's kind of a very, very risky place to put a base right now. He would have been better off putting a little bit closer, I think. And indeed, I think we're going to see BoxeR move down. He's got some ghosts as well in that army. EMP is ready to go.
He's got a lot of Vikings in his army. There's only 2 Colossus, so the Colossus will only do minimal damage.
Another drop from BoxeR. Doing a little bit of damage. It will be cleaned up again by the Zealots. I always wondered about shooting a rocket into the face of a Zealot that's hitting you. That seems like a really dangerous thing to do. At that point, you might as well just like club them with your arm or something. Or headbutt them.
That'd be good. That's what I do. I headbutt them.
Headbutt them?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the Zealots aren't wearing helmets, so you can just headbutt them right
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
It's true. BoxeR dropping again at the main base of Avenge.
Oh, he might take out the Robo-Bay. Zealot warped in, but the Robo-Bay is going to go down. BoxeR drawing units into the natural at the same time. And is he going to get the robotics facility with... does not get the robotics facility forced out. But BoxeR in the meantime has actually floated a base over to his own 4th.
Yep. The BoxeR again moving across the map. He's going to take a look. If he can pick off some advanced pylons, that can be very, very helpful as well. Looks like we might have the armies meet here in midfield.
BoxeR comsatted, saw that army, decided he didn't want to engage. Falling back, might get caught up to, though.
That ghost. Getting very low.
Oh, he stamps, he goes in. Well, the Colossi are out of position. Force field blocks the attack, though. Nice force field. BoxeR has a lot of medevacs, but they're going to lose a lot of energy
going
out of
after
that.
the Robo-Bay in the main.
Oh, robotics facility goes down. And again, Avenge brings his whole army back to deal with the drop.
Yeah, and the Colossus very early. If BoxeR had more units, he could snipe some Colossi there possibly. As it is, they're going to show themselves there. BoxeR, in the meantime, can just kind of get his expand going. Now, BoxeR is way ahead in the army count, rather. Or no, what I'm trying to say, income harvesters.
Both actually. He's
I'm
almost
so excited.
maxed.
I can't think straight.
BoxeR is maxed, and he has 50 harvesters, 52 compared to 39 of Avenge, who actually hasn't transferred any harvesters to his new base. So BoxeR is going to win in the long game, but it looks like Avenge might be posturing to try and attack that 4th base of BoxeR, which he's capable of doing if the cards play out right in the battle.
Right now, it all depends on positioning. If someone gets caught walking through the hallway, their army isn't quite spread out enough, it could mean the end. These armies are fairly even.
Now, I'm not sure if BoxeR knows how much of an advantage he has right now, actually. He might want to expand again at this point because he has control. If they do engage, those Vikings are going to take out those Colossus super quick. He's got so many of them, and they are +1 weapon upgraded. So he's got that advantage.
Now BoxeR's moving into the late game Terran phase where he's going to build a ton of command centers. He's going to stack some SCVs, and that's the excellent, best, greatest thing you need to do as a Terran player, just because then you can focus your mineral mining with only mules and then free up that supply for a lot more units. BoxeR has a nuke queued up in the Ghost Academy.
Oh my goodness, he's got 2 Ghost Academies, a nuke queued up in one. He's probably waiting for the minerals for the other.
There it is. There's the Ghost Academy. He does. He's getting an upgrade, and there's a nuke. He's starting to build it now. I'm so excited. I'm sorry.
I can't even.
I can't tone it down. I can't tone it down because Slayer's BoxeR is fighting for his life in the GSL.
So instead of he has an advantage, he realizes it. And actually, Ghost cloaking. They're going to try and go in and EMP all the sentries. If he does, he can go in for an attack. EMP on the entire army! The entire army is EMP'd. He snips and goes in to finish it off. If he destroys this army, he will win the game and advance to the round of 16. So many Marauders. The Vikings taking out every single Colossus. And BoxeR is on the verge of winning the game in this series. Here he goes in, stimming one more time. The Medevacs healing everything. Avenge on the run, falling back into his expansion. We might see GG any moment now. BoxeR landing Vikings at the expansion as well. Nuclear missile dropping onto Avenge's natural expansion where his army is right now. Are we going to see it? The nuke's going to land on his army!
Oh, is he going to get the units away?
Nuclear missile killing everything.
100
BoxeR winning the 3rd game, advancing to the round of 16. GG coming from Avenge, and BoxeR, who has always been committed to showing his fans good games more than anything else, showing the most hardcore ending to a game I have seen that I can remember.
Before we go any further, I got to give it to MVP Avenge. He played a great series.
Let's not take anything away from him.
He played awesome.
He did very, very well.
He put the Emperor on his heels. Not many people can say they did that. So, MVP Avenge, great game. BoxeR, of course, being the manner guy that he is.
Pat
A
on
little
the
bit
back.
of a comfort there. MVP Avenge, he got a bum deal. He had to face BoxeR in his first round in his first GSL ever. We will see him again.
I think
can
we will.
guarantee
He
that.
played. Excuse me. that nuke, the edge of the nuke.
Nuked your vocal cords there,
Nuked my
apparently.
vocal cords a little bit there. He played really well, and if BoxeR, to be honest with you, if he hadn't pulled off the most epic set of EMPs ever right before that battle, there would have been force fields and guardian shields, and it would not nearly have been so lopsided.
Where was the observer for MVP Avenge? Where was the observer? I don't know.
It was in BoxeR's base.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, he had an observer camped over BoxeR's natural
That
for a long time.
is going to have a lot to answer for when he gets back to the base. He's going to get back and be like,
Slacking
oh, hey,
off.
guys, I saw some great stuff at the Terran May. Oh. And then he, like, floats off the scrap station and just, like, escapes somewhere. He's
Exactly.
like, I'm out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he's invisible, too, so they'll never find him.
Oh, my
But
God.
Slayer's BoxeR, in one of the most intense matches I have ever seen in the GSL, managing to stay alive.
And
Man.
that is why
That
is why BoxeR is the most famous StarCraft player, because he just so smart, so intelligent, does
when he
the
wants
most
to
awesome
win,
things.
When he wants to win, he wins. That's the thing, is that he's got that
And he doesn't
instinct.
just win, he wins in spectacular fashion.
Yeah. You know, one thing is I
True
think
pro.
we should have a moment of silence for that one Marauder of Slayer's BoxeR that did get caught in the nuke. His army was victorious, but that Marauder,
Sacrificed himself to keep Avenge's army in the right spot.
he's not coming home. He was left hanging. But you know what? So that's war. That's what happens. You get recruited by Slayer's BoxeR,
Indeed.
you might get nuked. But
You play against Slayer's BoxeR, you might get
get nuked, yeah. So, wow, Slayer's BoxeR advancing. Code A this season. Are we not the luckiest two casters in the world to be able to cast Code A?
We are.
In Korea? We are. And
I've been saying it since
Man.
the beginning. The very first cast, I said this season is going to be awesome, and so far it is not disappointed.
yeah, absolutely. And you guys get to see these awesome matches. Huge thanks again to LG Cinema 3D, Intel, and of course G-Skill RAM as well. G-Skill paid for all those cool booths you can see behind us. I'm trying to like match it up on the monitors. I'm so bad at this. I'm terrible with mirrors in the
Instead,
morning
you're just
too.
disco dancing.
Yeah, I try to shave in the morning. I'm like shaving the side of my head, and it's kind of a disco dance. You shouldn't have said that. No, now you're just trolling for gifs on Reddit.
That's true. Now, don't go away yet,
That's
because we actually have another match left, and it doesn't have the Emperor in it, but it will have two very, very strong up-and-coming players.
TSL
It's still going to be a
live.
very, very good match, I believe, and we're going to get right to it in just a moment.
TSL Live and MVP finale. The first map will be Terminus Re again. So back to Terminus. They've mopped up the mess from the nuke, but let's see how it looks in just a second.